Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. My Sunday's been pretty good so far. I was at McDonald's for coffee this morning, then rode around total of, I think, about 12 miles before I got back home. Included 3 or 4 miles before going, and then the rest of it before I came back. And I had coffee there. Our senior price at the McDonald's I go to is 53 cents for coffee or pop. I drink coffee. And once in a great while, I might drink a diet drink, but very, very, very seldom. I've got to be desperate for something to drink that stuff. Water and coffee. That's primarily it. I use heavy cream in my coffee, and that's pretty much that too. Occasionally, I'll put butter in the coffee with the heavy cream, and once in a while, I'll throw an egg in and blend the living daylights out of it. Anyway, somebody was talking about how much weight they had lost or somebody posted how much weight did you lose in 90 days or the first 90 days on keto, and that reminded me, well, I lost somewhere between 60 and 80 pounds those first 3 months, and the reason I really remember it is I went back to the doctor for a checkup after 3 months after he told me to try keto and to look it up and live it, was his exact words. First, he asked me if I'd tried keto, and I said, well, I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it. And he says, look it up and live it if you want to keep living. That was his exact words. And he goes out of the room and told me I was ready to go and everything. So I leave, and 3 months, and on the way home that day, I was in Cushing, Oklahoma. There's a restaurant there called the Homestead, and I love that place. And I still go there, but I eat much different. And they know me when I walk in now, and they know what I'm going to eat. And it has no carbs. So anyway, I go there and I look up keto on my cell phone and started reading some stuff by Dr. Eric Westman. And it really intrigued me, what I read. And I'm sitting there eating 4 pancakes, 2 eggs, and some sausage, and I don't know if there was anything else or not. But that's what I was eating. And I'm the kind that, man, sugar and me, I was so addicted to sugar. By that point, if I ate, say, just sausage and eggs, if I took a biscuit and put just a little bit of jelly and took one bite of it, within an hour, I would be shaking so hard from head to toe, I couldn't hardly function and would have to eat again. And it's a vicious cycle. I've been that way since in my late teen years that started, and it was horrible. But I didn't learn. I kept eating sweets, and I kept eating sweets, and I turned around eating again. And anyway, sitting there reading what Dr. Westman had to say, and I wish they'd had a book back then, but if he did, I don't know about it. But he had what was called the Page 4 diet, and so I looked that up and found it, and I thought, well, I can do this. And I literally started cold turkey the next morning. And my wife at first didn't want to do it, but as I started losing weight and started feeling better, she decided she wanted to join me in it, and so she did. And in her last couple of years of life, she lost over 100 pounds before the dementia problem started affecting her appetite and stuff, in which case she lost quite a bit more, but that's because she couldn't eat. She didn't want to eat anymore. But that's another story. That was just one of the many things that were going on in my life during the time I'm trying to save my life. But wanting to be able to take care of her till the end really motivated me to do more. And so when I started keto, I think I just said it, I started 100% keto. I cut out everything that was not considered keto according to Dr. Eric Westman. And his philosophy at the time was 20 total carbs or less. And he calls that the prescription strength keto diet. And it is. Like I said, by the time I went back for that next doctor checkup 3 months later, I had lost about 80 pounds, maybe more. But anyway, I get put into the room, and the nurse that I had wasn't the same nurse I'd had the previous trip. So she didn't know anything other than she weighed me, and she said, oh, you've lost some weight. And that's good. And I said, well, thank you, and everything. So she goes out, puts my chart in the door pocket, And after 10 or 15 minutes, I hear the chart being removed, and Dr. I know his name, but anyway, he comes in and he looks at me and he looks at the chart, turns around and goes back out the door. And I hear him in the hallway say, I'm supposed to be seeing Dwayne Britton, aren't I? And they said, yeah. Well, that's not him in the room in there. Well, they said, yeah, it is. He's lost some weight. So he comes back in and he looks at me and he says, you are Dwayne Britton, aren't you? And I said, yeah, I am. He says, man, you really lost some weight. You know, nobody ever listens to me. He says, I've told many people to try keto, and they just ignore me. And all. And he said, I'm really proud of you. So by the time I went back for the next 3-month checkup, I had quit taking all but one blood pressure pill and the blood thinner that I'd been on since I'd had my heart attack. And blood pressure was staying down in the normal range. And I still have to take that one, or I still take that one blood pressure pill, and I still take the blood thinner. Not that I want to, but just in case, you know. But I take no other pills. I do take potassium because I am prone to potassium deficiency. It's almost killed me several times. And I guess that comes from, I've had 2 severe heat strokes in my life. And the first one, I literally run off the road out into the middle of a cotton field, blacked totally out, and woke up. That was about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and I woke up after sundown, and that was the middle of summer in August in North Mississippi. And I crawled. When I come to, my little car was sitting there still running. The back wheels were just churning that dusty cotton-filled dirt. You know, and it's a wonder it hadn't run out of gas, but it hadn't. And I crawled from there back up to the highway and passed out again. And I woke up a little bit later in a little country store that was on my paper route that I was running. And they knew who I was, and they started trying to cool me down, call an ambulance and all this stuff. And so I come to for a few moments and blacked out again, woke up in the hospital, and I was there for about a week before I got where I can go home, and I was so weak from that. The next bout wasn't near that bad, but it was still bad. And then I've had 3 or 4 heat exhaustions and 1 bad case of blood poisoning from a sunburn. And all of that together has severely impacted my health overall. But I am doing way better now than I was. Anyway, my doctor was so tickled. He went out and he called all his nurses and the other 3 or 4 doctors in that practice to come in and check me out. And I had pictures already, and all. And they're like, wow, keto did that, and it's improved your health and everything this much? That doctor is gone from the Hightower, that's his name. He's not at that clinic anymore, but I have gone by the clinic that he works at and said hi to him a time or 2 since then. And he's still just amazed, and I am too, how fast it improved my health. I had skin tags everywhere, all over my eyelids, all over my face, especially around here and up under my arms. They were all gone within 3 or 4 months. All right, well, I'm going to shut up right here for now, and I'll try to do more of these occasionally along the way. You guys have a great day, and I love you all. Bye-bye.